How's everyone tonight? This is Kerry Cassidy from Project Camelot, Whistleblower Radio, and we are going to have, a very unusual and dynamic show this evening. But I'm also going to have David Wilcock on the air with me here, who has just received a death threat, and we are going to ask our audience to surround him with white light and protection. We've gotten in touch with some very important people here, and hold on one second.
I'm here.
Bye. Okay. Hi, David. You're there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me repeat this. David Wilcock has received a death threat. I've asked him to come on my show at the last minute here after I just got a notice myself about it. We have contacted the necessary people to protect him, and they are going to be doing that.
I've been in touch with Benjamin Fulford. He came out on the scene in 2007, as we all know. And what he ultimately has been saying is that there's an alliance of 117 nations, and those nations are aligned against the Illuminati, which, if you don't know, is the secret political leadership of the G5 countries.
Now, to take some of the heat off him, we are going to bring on a person who is working in a sensitive capacity around the world. He has been notified of the situation. He has the ability to get the right people involved to make sure that David is protected. Let's put it that way. But this person will be anonymous. Caller, are you on the air here? We've got anonymous. Are you live?
Hi, you're talking to me.
Hi there. Thank you so much for coming on the call. I do understand that you work in a very sensitive capacity, that you were just notified of the situation with David Wilcock, that you are concerned, and we welcome your presence here on the air with us tonight.
And we'd be really unhappy if anything was to be happening to you.
I appreciate that.
I hope we can make that clear to all the viewers and all the folks out there that are listening in all the communities that we all know about. But we know where they all live too. We know where all their families are. We know where everybody is.
That's very important. I think it bears repeating. So, caller, because your voice is a little faint, David.
Well, I'm a long way away, Leslie. If you only knew how far away I was. Let me tell you that I'm so far away you couldn't believe.
Right. But David, could you repeat that for the public? I'm going to let you repeat that they know where these people are. They know their homes, their houses, their families. They know all the details.
I can hear the caller very well. I hope that the audience can too. If not, we can probably post-produce this after the live show.
And we do need to bond together to protect each other. And white light, surround each other with white light and protection. We've got Anonymous on the line standing by. Anonymous, are you there?
I am still here.
Okay, Anonymous, we are really grateful to have you with us. We would like to talk about this developing story. I do want to ask you a question because it's my understanding that in some ways these kind of death threats, which I have also received in the past, are a type of psychological operation more than anything else. Do you think this is a psyop?
I think they're just troublemakers.
You think they're troublemakers?
We don't like it. It ruins the industry reputation.
It ruins the I was going to, that's a pretty tall order to ruin the reputation of the Illuminati, but I guess they're going to work on it. Can you elaborate, Colin?
Yeah, look, we've got a simple rule. If you fellas all just tell the truth, don't embellish, tell the truth, and don't compromise.
Okay, so what the caller is saying, if I understand, caller, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're basically saying that the threats are coming from a lower level. Isn't that right?
You're a bunch of fools as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so it is important to know that we're talking about different levels.
But if they become too noticeable for us, we'll go and have a talk to them. So they should be mindful about who they threaten. You've heard about the little fish that eats the little fish and then the shark comes along and eats the bigger fish. Well, they might be a tasty little meal for us.
Okay. Well, you know, this kind of...
And I'm not in your public relations department. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not in your public relations department. I don't have to talk softly or gently or say the right sort of things.
Well, I think that the listeners, whoever is out there who is monitoring this radio show, will be well aware that we've kind of brought in the big guns, so to speak, on our side. There are some people out there, wouldn't you say, caller, who consider David Wilcock to be family. Wouldn't you put it that way?
Well, let me say this, as far as I'm advised. If anyone bothers this lad or a few of the others that are around trying to tell the messages that they're telling, we'll be heartily pissed off. And it won't be one or two that'll have a headache. I can assure you countries will have headaches. And the people out there who are listening will know what I'm talking about. We don't deal in ones and twos.
Okay.
We deal in whole societies.
Okay. Well, you know, I don't want to encourage too much of this kind of talk, but I do want to.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. You're talking about the things at the sharp end of the business. There's none of this funny, waffy, soffy stuff that you guys all go on about. We're very serious. We don't need to investigate. We have ways and means of knowing what's in everyone's information, everyone's computer. We don't need a thing. We do it in a different way. We need no physical, material requirements at all. No machinery as you understand it.
This phone call I got was serious as a heart attack, but I can tell that you are too. And
Oh, David, we're the sorts of folk that don't follow you after the heart attack when you've died, son. We'll be there on the other side to bother you again.
Yeah.
So be assured we can bother them just as effectively after their death of their body. And don't talk about torture in this life. Talk about torture in lives that go for thousands of generations.
Well, I appreciate that. You know,
if you understand what I'm saying, you understand the depths of what we're talking about.
I do.
And this phone call's coming from so far beyond the never, you could never appreciate it.
Okay. Well, caller, thank you so much.
We're the sorts of folk that don't follow you after the heart attack when you've died, son. We'll be there on the other side to bother you again.
Yeah.
So be assured we can bother them just as effectively after their death of their body. And don't talk about torture in this life. Talk about torture in lives that go for thousands of generations.
Okay,
we deal in whole societies.
You know,
if you understand what I'm saying, you understand the depths of what we're talking about.
I do.
And this phone call's coming from so far beyond the never, you could never appreciate it.
well, I think that the listeners, whoever is out there who is monitoring this radio show, will be well aware that we've kind of brought in the big guns, so to speak, on our side.